Have you ever wondered why you wake up feeling older than when you went to bed? Why your neck aches, your back screams, and your energy feels drained before the day even begins? The answer might shock you. It's not about how many hours you're sleeping, it's about the position you're sleeping in. Recent findings from sleep researchers reveal something startling. The way seniors position themselves during sleep can either accelerate aging or slow it down. We're talking about tangible effects on your joints, your circulation, your cognitive function, and even your lifespan. Certain positions have been linked to increased inflammation, reduced oxygen flow, and cumulative damage that builds night after night, month after month, year after year. And here's what makes this truly alarming. Most people over 60 are sleeping in positions that are actively harming them, and they have no idea. They think the stiffness is just part of getting older. They assume the fatigue is normal. They accept the pain as inevitable. But what if none of that were true? Tonight, we're going to explore something that could fundamentally change how you experience aging. We'll reveal the 4 sleeping positions that are silently undermining your health. And then we'll share the 4 positions that can actually reverse some of that damage, helping you wake up refreshed, energized, and ready to reclaim your vitality. This isn't just about sleeping better. It's about living better. And if you stick with me until the end, you'll discover simple adjustments that take seconds to implement, but can add years of quality to your life. Before we begin, if you're new to Healthy Being, welcome. We're here to help you thrive at every age. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss life-changing health information designed specifically for you. And if you find value in what we share today, show your support by giving this video a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people who need this information. Now let's dive into the truth about sleep positions and discover what your nightly routine might be doing to your body without your knowledge. Position number 1, face-down sleeping prone position. Picture this. You climb into bed after a long day, flip onto your stomach, tuck your arms beneath the pillow, turn your head to one side, and drift away. For some people, this feels like the only way they can truly relax. The pressure on their chest feels grounding. The sensation of being held by the mattress brings comfort. Meet James, a 70-year-old former construction worker from Tennessee. For decades, James slept exclusively on his stomach. He claimed it was the only position that didn't aggravate his lower back. "I just can't get comfortable any other way," he'd tell his family. But over the years, something changed. He started waking up with severe headaches. His hands would tingle and go numb. He felt dizzy when standing up too quickly. His wife noticed he was turning his head less and less, moving more like a robot than a man. When James finally consulted a specialist, the diagnosis was clear: chronic cervical strain, compressed nerves, and restricted breathing patterns, all stemming from his sleeping position. Here's what happens when you sleep face down. Your neck is forced to rotate at an extreme angle for hours on end. This twists the delicate vertebrae in your cervical spine, pinching nerves and reducing blood flow to your brain. Over time, this can lead to chronic tension headaches, balance issues, and even cognitive decline due to reduced oxygen delivery during sleep. But it doesn't stop there. When you lie on your stomach, your rib cage is pressed into the mattress, limiting how much your lungs can expand. Your diaphragm can't move freely, which means you're taking shallower breaths all night long. For someone over 60, when lung capacity naturally decreases, this reduced oxygen intake can lead to morning grogginess, persistent fatigue, and even elevated blood pressure as your cardiovascular system works harder to compensate. And then there's your spine. Sleeping face down flattens the natural curve of your lumbar region, placing uneven stress on the discs and joints. If you already have arthritis, herniated discs, or degenerative spine conditions, this position accelerates the damage. One specialist described it as spending 8 hours bending a wire back and forth. You're essentially teaching your spine to break. James eventually transitioned out of stomach sleeping, but not without difficulty. It took weeks to adjust, but the results were undeniable. His headaches faded. His neck mobility returned. He started waking up feeling genuinely rested instead of stiff and disoriented. If you're someone who sleeps on your stomach, you might be thinking, "But I've always done it this way." That's understandable. Habits formed over a lifetime are hard to break. But here's the truth. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's serving you. Sometimes the most dangerous patterns are the ones we've normalized. So if stomach sleeping is quietly damaging your body night after night, what about curling up into a ball? That's a position many people assume is protective and gentle. But as we're about to discover, it carries hidden consequences that are just as serious. If you're still with me and finding this helpful, drop a comment below and let me know. And don't forget, subscribing to Healthy Being means you'll keep getting insights like this that can genuinely transform your health. Position number 2. The tight fetal curl, extreme knee to chest position. There's something instinctive about curling into a ball when we sleep. It feels safe, cocooned, protected from the world. Many seniors adopt this position without even thinking about it. They draw their knees up toward their chest, tuck their chin down, wrap their arms around themselves, and drift into sleep feeling secure. Consider Margaret, a 67-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. Margaret had slept curled tightly in a fetal position for as long as she could remember. "It's how I've always felt most comfortable," she explained. But over the years, she noticed something troubling. She'd wake up gasping for air. Her back felt locked in place every morning. She developed a persistent stoop in her posture, even when standing. And despite sleeping 8 hours a night, she always felt exhausted. Her healthcare provider asked her to describe her sleeping position. And when Margaret demonstrated the tight curl she used, the provider immediately understood. "You're compressing your lungs and shortening your spine every single night," she was told. Here's the reality. When you pull your knees too tightly toward your chest, you restrict the space your diaphragm needs to expand. This forces you into shallow, rapid breathing throughout the night. Your body compensates by increasing your heart rate, putting extra strain on your cardiovascular system. For older adults, especially those with existing heart or lung conditions, this can be genuinely dangerous. But the effects go beyond breathing. Sleeping in a tight curl keeps your spine in an unnatural C-shape for hours. This shortens the muscles and connective tissues along your back, training your body to maintain that hunched posture even during the day. Over months and years, this contributes to what many people call aging posture. The forward hunch, the rounded shoulders, the loss of height. But it's not inevitable aging. It's the result of nightly positioning. Research in spinal health has shown that maintaining a curled position during sleep can accelerate spinal degeneration, increase the risk of disc herniation, and contribute to chronic lower back pain. It also reduces circulation to your extremities, which can lead to numbness, tingling, and cold hands and feet. Margaret's story has a turning point. She began working with a physical therapist who taught her how to gradually extend her sleeping position, using pillows for support as she transitioned. It wasn't easy. Her body had been trained for decades to curl up. But slowly, her breathing improved. Her back pain decreased. Her posture straightened. And she started waking up with energy instead of exhaustion. The lesson here is clear. What feels protective might actually be restrictive. Your body needs space to breathe, to stretch, to restore itself. When you compress it into a tight ball night after night, you're not protecting yourself. You're limiting your body's ability to heal. But if curling up too tightly is harmful, what about lying completely flat? For years, that was considered the gold standard for spinal health. Doctors recommended it. Mattress companies advertised it. But for seniors, the reality is far more complicated and potentially dangerous. Let's explore why. Position number 3. Flat on your back without support, unsupported supine position. For decades, sleeping flat on your back was considered the healthiest position. It was presented as the ideal alignment for your spine, straight, neutral, evenly distributed. And for some people, it works well. But for many seniors, this position has become a silent health hazard. Meet Richard, a 76-year-old retired engineer from Georgia. Richard prided himself on discipline. He slept flat on his back every night, no pillows, no supports, perfectly level. "I read that it was the best thing for your spine," he explained. But his wife started noticing something alarming. Richard would stop breathing in his sleep, sometimes for 20 or 30 seconds at a time. Then he'd suddenly gasp, choke, and resume breathing. This happened dozens of times each night. Richard himself had no memory of it, but he woke up every morning feeling like he'd been hit by a truck. When he finally underwent a sleep study, the results were shocking. Richard had severe obstructive sleep apnea, with his airway collapsing more than 40 times per hour. His oxygen levels were dropping dangerously low throughout the night, starving his brain and heart of the oxygen they desperately needed. Here's what happens when seniors sleep completely flat on their backs. Gravity pulls the tongue and soft tissues of the throat backward, narrowing or blocking the airway. This causes snoring, gasping, and repeated interruptions in breathing. Many people don't even realize it's happening, but the consequences are profound. Increased risk of stroke, heart attack, hypertension, memory loss, and chronic fatigue. According to sleep medicine research, untreated sleep apnea in adults over 60 significantly increases the risk of cardiovascular events and cognitive decline. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about long-term damage accumulating night after night. But that's not the only issue with flat back sleeping. It also worsens acid reflux, a condition that affects nearly half of all seniors. When your head is level with your stomach, gravity can't keep digestive acids where they belong. They creep upward into your esophagus, causing heartburn, throat irritation, and even damage to your vocal cords and lungs over time. Richard's story changed when he started using a wedge pillow to elevate his upper body and positioned a small support under his knees. The difference was immediate. His apnea episodes dropped dramatically. His reflux disappeared. He started sleeping through the night and waking up genuinely refreshed. The takeaway? Lying flat might sound simple and neutral, but for many seniors, it's anything but. Your body needs strategic support to function optimally during sleep. Without it, you're fighting gravity and anatomy, and losing the battle every night. So if flat on your back is risky, what about sleeping in a chair? Many seniors have turned to recliners as a solution to discomfort. But as we're about to see, this seemingly comfortable alternative carries dangers of its own. Position number 4. Sleeping in a recliner every night. It often starts innocently. You're watching TV in your favorite recliner. Your back feels better when you're slightly elevated. You drift off to sleep. It's comfortable, so you do it again the next night. And the next. Before long, the recliner has replaced your bed entirely. This is exactly what happened to Helen, a 74-year-old grandmother from Nevada. After struggling with hip arthritis and acid reflux, Helen found that sleeping in her recliner was the only way she could get through the night without pain. "My bed just hurt too much," she said. The recliner felt like heaven. But after several months, Helen started noticing troubling changes. Her legs were constantly swollen. Her ankles looked puffy and discolored. She felt weaker when trying to stand. Her back, which had initially felt better, now felt constantly stiff. And despite spending 8 or 9 hours in the recliner each night, she never felt truly rested. When Helen finally visited her healthcare provider, the explanation was sobering. Sleeping in a recliner night after night was wreaking havoc on her circulation, her muscles, and her sleep quality. Here's what happens. When you sleep in a semi-upright position with your legs extended, blood flow to your lower extremities becomes restricted. Fluid begins to pool in your legs and feet, causing swelling, discomfort, and in severe cases, deep vein thrombosis. Blood clots that can travel to your lungs and become life-threatening. The reclined angle also prevents your spine from fully relaxing. Your lower back remains in a constant state of tension. Your core muscles, hips, and legs aren't able to stretch and release the way they would in a flat, supported position. Over time, this leads to muscle atrophy, joint stiffness, and balance problems, all of which increase your risk of dangerous falls. But perhaps the most insidious effect is on sleep quality itself. Recliner sleeping rarely allows you to enter the deep, restorative stages of sleep your body needs. You might close your eyes for hours, but your brain stays in light sleep mode, never fully cycling through the phases that support memory consolidation, cellular repair, and immune function. Helen's provider recommended transitioning back to a bed with strategic pillow supports and a slight incline. It wasn't easy. Helen had become dependent on the recliner. But within weeks, the swelling in her legs decreased. Her energy improved. Her sleep deepened. She said it felt like waking up from a long fog. The lesson? Recliners are wonderful for short rest periods. But they're not designed to replace a bed. Your body needs the freedom to stretch, shift, and move through full sleep cycles. When you trap yourself in a fixed position all night, you're trading short-term comfort for long-term decline. If you're learning something valuable here, I'd love for you to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to Healthy Being. Your engagement helps us continue creating content that can truly change lives. Now that we've identified the positions that can harm you, let's turn our attention to the positions that can heal you. These aren't just theories. They're evidence-based strategies that have transformed the health and quality of life for countless seniors. Small adjustments in how you position your body at night can lead to profound improvements in how you feel during the day. Position number 1. Side sleeping with a pillow between your knees. This is one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make. Side sleeping, when done correctly, aligns your spine, supports your joints, and promotes better circulation. And the key to doing it right? A single pillow placed between your knees. Let's talk about Thomas, a 69-year-old retired mechanic from Indiana. For years, Thomas struggled with lower back pain and hip discomfort. Every morning, he'd wake up feeling like his joints were locked in place. It took him 20 minutes just to loosen up enough to start his day. Physical therapy helped a little, but the pain always came back. Then, during a routine appointment, his therapist asked, "How do you sleep?" Thomas replied, "On my side mostly." The therapist nodded and said, "Try this. Put a pillow between your knees tonight. Keep it there all night." Thomas was skeptical. How could something so simple make a difference? But he tried it. And within 3 nights, he noticed a change. The sharp pain in his lower back had softened. His hips didn't ache when he woke up. Within 2 weeks, his morning stiffness had decreased by more than half. Here's why this works. When you sleep on your side without support, your top leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and pulling your spine out of alignment. This creates uneven pressure on your lower back and hips. But when you place a pillow between your knees, it keeps your pelvis level and your spine neutral. The result? Even weight distribution, reduced joint stress, and significantly less pain. Side sleeping, especially on your left side, also offers cardiovascular benefits. It improves blood flow to your heart, reduces pressure on major blood vessels, and can even help with digestion and acid reflux by keeping your stomach positioned below your esophagus. For people with sleep apnea, side sleeping is often recommended because it keeps airways open and reduces snoring. It's one of the most universally beneficial positions for overall health. Thomas now sleeps with a pillow between his knees every night. "It's such a small thing," he says, "but it changed everything." If you've been struggling with back or hip pain, this might be the simplest solution you've never tried. Just one pillow. That's it. But the impact can be life-changing. Position number 2, elevated back sleeping, head and knees slightly raised. For those who prefer sleeping on their backs, there's a way to do it that supports your body instead of straining it. It's called the elevated back position, and it involves gently raising both your head and your knees. Consider Barbara, a 71-year-old retired schoolteacher from Colorado. Barbara had always been a back sleeper, but as she aged, she started experiencing nightly heartburn and shortness of breath. She'd wake up coughing, her throat burning from acid. Her cardiologist suggested a simple adjustment. Elevate the head of her bed by about 30 degrees and place a small pillow or wedge under her knees. Barbara tried it that same night, and for the first time in months, she slept through without waking up gasping or choking. The heartburn disappeared. Her breathing felt easier. She woke up feeling genuinely rested. The science is straightforward. Elevating your upper body uses gravity to keep stomach acid where it belongs, in your stomach. It also opens up your airways, reducing the risk of apnea and snoring. Meanwhile, raising your knees takes pressure off your lower back, allowing your lumbar spine to relax fully. This position is especially beneficial for seniors with congestive heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease (COPD), or gastroesophageal reflux disease (GERD). It supports better breathing, improved circulation, and reduced nighttime symptoms. You don't need expensive equipment. A wedge pillow for your upper body and a small cushion under your knees can do the trick. The goal is gentle elevation, not sitting upright, but creating a slight incline that supports natural body function. Barbara now swears by this position. I wish I'd known about this years ago, she says. It's like my body can finally breathe. Position number 3. The starfish position, back sleeping with arms relaxed. There's something freeing about lying on your back with your arms gently spread to your sides, palms facing up. This is known as the starfish position, and it's one of the most restorative ways to sleep, especially for your shoulders, neck, and upper spine. Meet Patricia, a 68-year-old former nurse from Vermont. After decades of physically demanding work, Patricia's shoulders and neck were a constant source of pain. She'd wake up with tension headaches that lasted all morning. Massage helped temporarily, but the pain always returned. A chiropractor suggested she try sleeping like a starfish, lying on her back, arms open and relaxed, head supported by a contoured pillow that kept her neck aligned. Patricia tried it, and within a week, she noticed her headaches were less frequent. Her shoulders felt looser. Her range of motion improved. Here's what makes this position effective. When your arms are free and not compressed under your body, blood flow to your shoulders, neck, and hands improves. This reduces nerve compression and muscle tension. The open chest posture also promotes deeper breathing, which can lower blood pressure and reduce stress. For people who suffer from shoulder impingement, frozen shoulder, or cervical nerve issues, the starfish position can provide significant relief. It allows your upper body to fully release tension accumulated during the day. Patricia now sleeps this way every night. I feel like I'm finally letting go, she says. My body doesn't feel like it's fighting itself anymore. Position number 4. The 45-degree side recline, the senior sweet spot. If there's one position that combines the benefits of multiple approaches, it's the 45-degree side recline. This is a semi-elevated side sleeping position that supports your spine, opens your airways, improves circulation, and reduces reflux, all at once. Let's talk about David, a 77-year-old retired postal worker from Illinois. David had tried everything to improve his sleep. New mattresses, medications, sleep studies. Nothing worked. He still woke up exhausted, in pain, and struggling to breathe. Then a physical therapist suggested the 45-degree side recline. David positioned himself on his left side, supported by a wedge pillow that elevated his upper body at a 45-degree angle. He placed a pillow between his knees and another under his head to keep his neck aligned. The first night, David slept for 6 uninterrupted hours, something he hadn't done in years. His heartburn disappeared. His breathing was effortless. His back didn't ache. Within a month, he felt like a different person. Research supports this. The 45-degree side recline reduces acid reflux episodes by up to 70%, keeps airways open to prevent apnea, supports spinal alignment, and improves lymphatic drainage, helping your body remove toxins and waste more efficiently during sleep. For seniors, this position is often described as the sweet spot because it addresses so many common issues simultaneously. It's comfortable, supportive, and therapeutic. David now calls it his miracle position. I spent years suffering, he says, when the solution was this simple. If this information is resonating with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Healthy Being. We're here to empower you with knowledge that can genuinely improve your life. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And for seniors, it's one of the most powerful tools you have for maintaining your health, your independence, and your quality of life. The way you position your body at night determines how your body functions during the day. It affects your energy, your pain levels, your cognitive clarity, your cardiovascular health, and even your longevity. Every night is an opportunity for healing, or an opportunity for harm. The choice is yours. What we've explored today isn't complicated. It doesn't require expensive equipment or drastic lifestyle changes. It's about awareness. It's about making small, intentional adjustments that align with how your body actually works. If you're currently sleeping in one of the positions we identified as harmful, don't panic. Change doesn't happen overnight. Start small. Try a pillow between your knees. Elevate your head slightly. Experiment with different supports. Give your body time to adjust. And pay attention to how you feel. Your body will tell you what works. Listen to it. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean declining. With the right information and the right choices, you can feel stronger, sharper, and more vibrant with each passing year. And it all starts with how you rest. Tonight, when you lie down, think about what you've learned here. Position yourself with intention. Support your body with care. And give yourself the gift of truly restorative sleep. Because when you sleep well, you live well. And you deserve to live your best life, no matter your age. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you found this valuable, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share what you learned. Tell me which position you're going to try tonight. Let's build a community of people who are committed to aging powerfully and intentionally. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Healthy Being and hit that notification bell so you never miss content designed to help you thrive. Your support means everything. Sleep well, wake strong, and remember, your best days are still ahead of you.